Good morning, everybody. I have a New Year's resolution to share. I'm dressed. I'm dressed before noon. I've got my bed made and all my pet messes cleaned up. And the only thing I haven't done is give Ruger a bath. But we're on the home stretch with our ornament. I'm not sure I like it or not. In my head, I had a different picture. But anyway, we're on the home stretch. And I've started, this will probably be the final row. And you kind of have to turn it this way. Like I said, I'm really grateful for this candle holder. It's really worked out good. It holds it in place for me, and I forgot that I had that other pin in there. But now the objective is just to hide as much as you can. The raw edges and the pins. So I will do a final row around here, and then I'll show you what we're going to do at the top. And then that's when we put our ribbon. I'm going to use the white again for my hanging ribbon, and I haven't decided which one I'm going to use for. I wish I had some black, and like I said, things were very scarce this year, so we'll be thinking about that, and we'll get back. And I'm going to cook breakfast. I'm trying to eat before noon also, and we'll see if I can keep up that resolution. And you have a wonderful day, and we'll be back. Okay, folks, we're on our last row right here, and this is where I take my pin out. I can see the little pinhole where it goes back. And I set it aside. And I have made my loop with my ribbon. I tie a knot, a slip knot at the end, and I usually try to work my corsage needle through there. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, I got a little bit of it. So since I just got a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and try to pierce the tail. Just like so. I'm hoping you can see that. And I'm just going to lay that down right there and leave it for after I cover up this last little bit of raw edges. And it should only take like 4 pieces. You continue to go ahead and fold your little book twice. And if you can see, I know exactly where my pin is going to land. So right here is where I need to cover up. And I see my pinhole. So I'm going to pin that into place right there. And your little ribbons, when you make your little ribbon things, you're not going to see these last few pins. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 in there, and then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to fold another piece. And there's my little book. And then I'm going to put this one directly across from this one. And I'm just going to overlap it just a teeny bit in the middle, so I know where exactly my corsage pin and my holder is going to go back. And I'm going to put 2 pins in here. Maybe we will. Going through all these layers, sometimes you got to wiggle your pin. My fingers get really sore, so I have to pace myself. But if I have a hard time, that's why I use my little hard thimble. And this is my 3rd piece. And there's my little book. And Charlie's face is on the other side, but it really doesn't matter. The ribbons are going to cover this up. So there again, I've got raw edges showing on that side, so I'm going to do my best to cover them up. And I've got an existing pin from that side that I'm going to go ahead and use. Maybe. Say, you're not cooperating. Okay. And then this one, take them off one at a time. If I find is the best policy. You take them both off, and then one shifts and one moves, and then there you go. And then the 4th piece, and I'm going to turn it around again, go to this side, and I've got a string hanging, so I try to get my phrase out of the way. And there again, line up that last point in the middle where your corsage pin goes. And I've covered up, and I drop them. I do that a lot. Come on now. There we go. There's another fray. Okay, so then we should have an almost perfect square and a square on the very top. I've still got pins showing right here, but the corsage pin goes in the middle, and then our ribbons will go. But if you need to make any changes, now's the time. And I think I am going to change this one. Get my stray pin before it ends up in the floor. My dog will pick up everything. He's like he's a vacuum cleaner. So I'm going to pull him out just a little bit, because then I can, it's more of a square in a square that way. Yeah. So now I need to pin him back down. And that one in the middle is going to be caught by the corsage pin. And then we're going to put a little dab of glue on the corsage pin. Okay. And put them all the way in now. Once you're happy with it, I've got this little piece over here, but my ribbon is going to hide that. So I'm going ahead and countersinking these. Okay, and that's the final step, and we've got our corsage pin right here, and we are going to put that right back smack in the middle of our little square, and we're going to hope that that's going to be, for some reason it's, but you can kind of go from your end to this end. I've got a little bend in it now, but I think we're pretty straight. And right here is where I take my tacky glue and I just put a little bit, oh, I grabbed the wrong one, not the tacky glue, but it'll work. The Fabric Fusion, anything that's water soluble. And then we're just gonna go ahead and push that on down. And we are finished with the corsage pin. And I let it dry, and I cut this little tail. It's kind of like doing dishes while you're cooking. I have my little trash pile right there. But anyway, so that's going to hang straight. So we're good. I'm going to let that dry. And in the meantime, my pins that Angie got me for Christmas, I'm going to shut these up before they end up in the floor. And my thimble, I won't need it anymore. These have really good heads on them, so my poor little thumb doesn't have to be tortured. But it's got different colors, and I don't know whether I'm going to use I think I'm going to use the black pins. There's not too many times that I can use them. There's a string. But now's the time you just kind of look at it, and it's not going to be perfect, and you're going to like some better than others. My daughter's taking my very first one, but like I said, I'm going to go back and I think use my little petite pins and see how that looks. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, here's my Amazon ribbon, and it is not an 1/8 of an inch, it is 3/4, I think. It might be 1/4, but what I used for the hanging loop is an 1/8 of an inch. Thank goodness I had it, or I wouldn't have got this far. And I'm taping that back down and putting that up. Again, if I don't put things away as I go, then it's madness. But okay, this is so simple. You just pierce the ribbon and pierce the ribbon, and that loop's too little. So this is where you can adjust your loops And those two look about the same. And I'm going to make a couple more. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. I usually do 7, but you can do as many or as less as you want. That's 5. Now I'm going to go a little bigger. That's 6. And that's 7. And those are about equal. And I think I'm going to do an 8 and a 9 on this one. Usually 2 sets of the same length looks good. And there you have your little bow. And I make 3. 1, 2, 3, and that covers the whole head of your ornament, and nobody is the wiser. But what I found to do for myself, I leave it attached to my ribbon right here, and I place it where I need to hide something, and I usually go out to the first pin, so that'd be like 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit on the inside of it or beside it anyway. So this way if I like it and it hides what I need it to hide, then I leave it there. So if I'm going to leave it there, this is where I cut my ribbon. And I can spin it around because it's not knotted or glued. So that's what I try to do, is get my little loops towards my corsage pin and my bigger loops towards the outside. So now the next one will go here and here like a triangle so that it covers all my bases. But I think that red looks pretty good. I wish I had, well, I do have blue. I could have used blue. I don't know. What do you think? I've got my little red material in here. Like I said, I wish I had black. Well, I'm going to think on that and we'll be back. Okay, boys and girls. We are on the home stretch with this ornament. I've got it all finished and I decided to use the silver ribbon. I tried the red, I tried the blue, and it just looks better to me. And everybody is different. So, and I've got my little, I ended up just using my little sequins with my regular no head pins because I don't know what happened there. Probably in the holder. Yeah. These little guys were a little too dressy, I think, for my Charlie Brown. I was more glitzy than feminine with that one. I tried my other little crystal headed pins, and they were, the crystal was too big for my sequin, so you couldn't see the sequin. So I'll save them for something else. And I do have bigger sequins, but I don't think it followed the theme with this one. So this is what I did, and she's all done. And now to finish up on this one, I wish I would have done the black on black. Well, I should have done the yellow on yellow instead of going off with my print. Every one of them is going to be different, and you just play around, and no gift handmade is a bad thing. So you all have a good day, and yes, today is Sunday, and I am going to get my Christmas things put away. And my poinsettia is still doing really well. I love that thing. My mom loved them, so I try to get one every year. So I'm off to do a few chores, and I need to make a plan for the rest of this one, and then I will finish that one. So good luck, and save the video, or we may post more again. And Angie is on the move today, I would imagine, with her family. So you have a good new year.